King Edgy here, bringing you another Gen 1 video. And in this one, we are focusing on our new series called Turning Point. And here's where we watch back a battle that maybe isn't going our way and figure out which turn it was that really changed the tides. If you've been following this series closely, you'll know that in our first episode we focused on a switch. That was a really good play. That switch helped us win. In our second episode, we focused on a move selection. So the move selection was really good. And in this video, we'll focus on a new idea. Neither one of those two, but here we are playing against Twerk Snorlax. I love it. And we'll just see how this battle goes. And, you know, it starts off fine. They have Bulbasaur, we have Weepinbell. Unfortunately, our Weepinbell did not know Sleep Powder, so we just went for it. And Bulbasaur here does put us to sleep. That's fine. Sometimes I like to stay in when I'm asleep, just in case maybe I wake up, especially if I'm faster and he can't really do anything to me, which was the case with Bulbasaur there. So Hitmonlee comes out, he takes this Blizzard, not quite as well as I'd have liked. We expect the switch coming, so we go Body Slam, the conservative play, we get the paralysis. But Hitmonlee, we're going to let him go. He is good against Clefable, but he's not that great against anything else, so... And we were a little worried about that counter there, really hurting somebody new. So out comes Growlithe here. You'll notice this is before Growlithe got buffed to 91, but it still does the job, still does plenty. Whew. And then Ammonite shows up. And this is terrible because Growlithe cannot do a thing against it. Weepinbell's already asleep, so we know we have to get rid of him quick. We go for the little Sleep Powder, and then we go to Mega Drain here just to get a little health back, which is fine. We could have gone Body Slam, but we thought Clefable might be coming out. Golduck takes that Psychic, but we're just going to paralyze this Jinx, and we don't quite get the paralysis. Then Jinx hits us with a big-time Psychic. We're going to paralyze it this time, but we still don't. And Jinx knocks us out, so the special drop crit combo really hurts us there. We've still got Growlithe, and he's got Ammonite, though, so obviously he's going to switch to it every time that he can. We're going to hope to paralyze it, and we don't. But thankfully, we do have a water type in the back, so we're not terribly fearful of the Ammonite. And we can do some damage with this Body Slam of our own. Again, expecting the switch there. At this point, we're kind of in trouble. Because, wow, you know, Jinx is faster than everything, and Clefable knows such a good move set. But we feel like Growlithe can maybe play some switching games around this Ammonite, maybe not. So we stay in here thinking that he might think we double. Didn't realize he knew Sing, which is obviously very scary, but Growlithe is a great candidate to get put to sleep. Because it can't do anything to Ammonite as it is. And I think Twerk Snorlax realizes at this point paralysis was the right call and just kind of goes out. Again, we have the Kingler here, so we're not super concerned just yet, though we are getting a little more concerned. That Crab Hammer was nice. We don't get frozen, also nice. And now we're hopeful that a couple Crab Hammers can do the job. But Cloyster is here, and he's here to stay. So at this point, we're very nervous, right? So what are we going to do, right? Because Jinx is so fast, and are we in range for Jinx Psychic? Probably not yet, but with one more attack, definitely. So our hope here has to be Swords Dance into a Cloyster miss of either Hyper Beam or Blizzard. That's kind of our hope. And then survive Jinx's Psychic and just sweep with Kingler. So we go for the Swords Dance here, but Twerk Snorlax knows what's up and just explodes immediately. And now we're really up against it. I mean, our back is to the wall. We have Tangela and Growlithe. And he's got 4 Pokemon. Granted, one's asleep. but Growlithe can't touch Ammonite. Tangela can't really touch Clefable. Or, I mean, Jinx has 7%, but it's so fast that it can basically handle things. We go Growlithe, though, because if we went Tangela, then whoever he sends out, obviously either going to be Clefable or Jinx. I kind of thought it would be Clefable, but that's fine. Could just do massive, massive damage, maybe even knock us out. So we go Growlithe, and we're just going to see what happens here. Now here's where Twerk Snorlax does something interesting. Goes to Bulbasaur. I expected the switch to Ammonite, so I double switched into Tangela. Didn't quite work out that way, but that's okay. So we can dance up if we want to here. We can just go for the straight body slams. I'm thinking, okay, I can't do a ton to this Bulbasaur. I can't do much to the Clefable. Maybe the Clefable comes back in here. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to try to Mega Drain, get a little bit of health back, because maybe the Clefable is going to come out. When it's clear the Clefable isn't going to come out at this point, then we're like, okay, well, I guess we'll just Body Slam and hope to take him out. And this is kind of our only hope, is that if Twerk Snorlax lets us take out this Bulbasaur, if it stays in for one more turn and we take it out, Tangela is able to put something else to sleep. And now Tangela is not fast enough to put Jinx asleep or Clefable to sleep. But if it comes out into Ammonite, we get some cool options here where we could either Mega Drain and just knock out the Ammonite, or Sleep Powder and hope that we catch something on the switch and that things work out really nicely. So, is Bulbasaur going to stay in? It is. We take it out. Great. Great stuff there. Alright, and now out comes Jinx. Okay. And Jinx can do a few things to us. It could use Lovely Kiss, just put us to sleep, and then chip us away. It could use Blizzard, and maybe knock us out. If we get the range up here, Jinx's Blizzard is 61 to 72. So since we are at 69, pretty nice amount of health, we probably live the Blizzard. And I guess it could use Psychic, but I don't know why it would, just because it would definitely hit, and maybe that would put us in range for something else. So here's kind of the thinking. I think Twerk Snorlax expects us to switch out here into Growlithe. And so I think that Twerk Snorlax is going to use Blizzard. And given the damage calculator, that it's not that likely to do as much health as we have, right? 172 health. Not super likely that that'll happen, especially given the only 90% accuracy, so we think there's about 40% chance that this works out. We're going to stay in, and we're going to say, hey, Blizzard might not knock us out. And if it doesn't knock us out, we've got a chance. So he goes Blizzard, woo, and we survive on 1%, which is pretty good. We Mega Drain to get that all-important health back and knock out the Jinx. Out comes Clefable. We go to Growlithe immediately. And then we have one kind of biggish decision here. Critical hit Fire Blast could potentially knock Clefable out. A regular Fire Blast won't. So we could go regular Fire Blast this turn, expecting Clefable to stay in, and then switch out next turn. Or we could switch out this turn, expecting that the double switch here. And here's what we went with. Correctly predicting the switch. So we double switch, we get what we want, and on top of that, we Sleep Powder. And the Sleep Powder, while it was the right play, especially because he switched into Clefable, wasn't really a choice for us. Because we could have used Mega Drain, but if you switch to Clefable and we used Mega Drain, then Clefable just knocks us out easily. Like we're in range for Thunderbolt, right? But if we Sleep Powder and he doesn't switch out, right, then he puts Ammonite to sleep. Maybe it's possible Growlithe can chip him away. But I think Sleep Powder was definitely our best move there. So Clefable is asleep now, which is awesome. We can just try to dance our way to victory here. We get one dance, and we think that's enough to start body slamming. Turns out that it is, just barely. Oh, it's not. But that's okay. He stays asleep. We can switch to Mega Drain comfortably. It doesn't matter at this point. We've got the game locked up. And that's GG's. For my money, even though our best play, arguably our best play, was this successful double switch on turn 34, I actually think that turn 32 here was the turning point of the game. And like I said at the start, our first video showed a really good switch. Our second video showed a really good move selection. And in this video, I want to highlight the really good knowing that my Pokemon could take this hit, the good staying in to knock out Jinx. I think that was huge. I think that's kind of what turned the tides here. And then, of course, we still had to play very well down the stretch and make sure we were taking some risks because we had to, right? So taking calculated risks. And that's what this play is too. It's a calculated risk. We felt like there was maybe a 40% chance of getting knocked out there. Anytime there's a greater chance of surviving than getting knocked out, it's a risk worth taking. But that was that battle. It was hard fought. We got behind early and stayed behind most of the way, but then managed to pull it out in the end. So in no small part because of turn 32, Tangela being a legend. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this turning point, and I'll see you next time.